I am Jana Bostonko, and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios along Caribou Avenue. Thanks for joining us. Now the main local, international and sports news headlines. President Adama Barrow arrived in Guinea-Conakry on Thursday for a 3-day state visit. In a joint security press briefing, security agents have announced the arrest of 265 people during Operation Zero Crime. The Chief Justice has announced the appointment of Mrs. Justice Amina Saho Sise as a judge of the Court of Appeal. The Mayor of Banjul on Thursday presided over the launching of an EU-funded waste management project at the BCC. In international news, the President of the ECOWAS Commission on Wednesday expressed concern over the rising public debt in member states as he presented the 2021 interim report at the ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja. Senegal made it a hat-trick of wins as they triumphed in the AFCON Beach Soccer Tournament on home soil over the weekend. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you for joining us. Now, President Adama Barrow has arrived in Guinea-Conakry on Thursday for a 3-day state visit. Aliou Cisse has the rest of that.
President Barrow was received on arrival by his counterpart, President Alpha Condé. During his stay, the Gambian leader and his host, His Excellency Professor Alpha Condé, will have a tete-a-tete followed by a bilateral meeting to strengthen ties. President Barrow will also conduct visits to important sites in Guinea. The visit will accord the President an opportunity to meet with Gambians in Guinea. President Condé was among the regional leaders of ECOWAS who played a significant role during the political impasse following the 2016 presidential election in the Gambia.
And we will discuss issues that will also benefit the sub-region that is ECOWAS.
Et ils auront aussi des discussions qui, ils pensent, seront bénéfiques pour toute la sous-région de la CEDEAO.
Thus, the visit will reinforce the ties between the two governments and the strong bond shared by Gambians and Guineans. Reporting for QTV News from Abuja, Nigeria, I am Aliou Cisse.
In a joint security press briefing, security agents have announced the arrest of 265 people during Operation Zero Crime.
The briefing was to give an update on progress made since the launch of the crackdown on crime called Operation Zero Crime. These arrests were made at various locations between 16th April and 28 May. The police PRO Superintendent Lamin Jai gave details of the work of the task force leading to the arrest of suspects.
49 of them, when we screened, were not connected to any crime, 49 of them, and those people have been released immediately. And part of them also, we have cases that relate to drug matters, and as well we have handed over 88 individuals to the Gambia Immigration Department simply because their cases have to do with immigration related matters. In Operation Zero Crime Phase 2, we pay particular attention to taxi spot and spot checking, which is done by our traffic department as well.
The public relations officer of the Gambia Immigration Department, Mamanding Diba, confirmed that after the arrests were made, 88 suspects were handed to the Immigration Department and included minors from Senegal.
These 88 persons, majority of them were having a problem of irregular status in the country, meaning they were people who were not officially resident in the country. They don't have the prescribed documentation, to legitimately reside in the country, which in itself is a crime. These are people who have whose issue of irregular status in the country have deprived the government much needed revenue, because you will be amazed to realize that out of this period we were able to recover about $121,350 from these people. 11 minors who were arrested within the area of Banjul. These minors were people under the age of statutory age, that is 18 years. They were mainly Senegalese. 10 of them were Senegalese, and one of them is a Gambian. As we speak, We have worked with the relevant stakeholders, that is the Department of Social Welfare, to make sure that we give these people a tentative shelter while we process what is going to be done about them.
The police PRO, Lamin Jai, and the immigration spokesperson call on the public to help the Joint Security Task Force in the effective implementation of Operation Zero Crime to eliminate the rising crime rate in the country.
Importantly, we want to let the public know that we are very aware of crime hotspot areas, and we collect intelligence, and we also design our operations accordingly.
The existence of undocumented aliens in the country does not just pose a security threat, but also it deprives us the much needed revenue. You can imagine within this short space of time, these people, these 88 people, who were resident in the country without the prescribed documents, were asked to pay and regularize their stay in the country. And that action have generated, a revenue of over $120,000. So can you imagine how many more are, hanging elsewhere around the country, and how much money, is attached to those people's, issue of not documenting in the country?
The Joint Security Patrols targeting criminal hideouts within the Greater Banjul area and the West Coast region was launched to tackle crime and criminal activities within communities and to dismantle all criminal hideouts and prosecute offenders. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
The Chief Justice has announced the appointment of Mrs. Justice Amina Saho Sise as a judge of the Court of Appeal. Her appointment is with effect from the 1st of June 2021. More in this report. According to a press release from the Office of the Chief Justice Hassan B. Jallow, His Excellency the President has made the appointment on the recommendation of the Judicial Service Commission. Consequently, Her Ladyship, the Honorable Mrs. Justice Amina Saho Sise, becomes a judge of the High Court of Appeal. The new member of the Court of Appeal began her judicial tenure in 2004 and has since held a number of judicial offices, including the Office of the Master of the High Court in 2008, and on the recommendation of the JSC was appointed a judge of the High Court in 2009. Among the high-profile cases she presided over was the one involving the 3 years Jotna activists. Justice Saho Sise is one of the 2 judges presiding over the pilot virtual courts which were set up to cater for the restrictions brought about by COVID-19. She also serves as a member of the General Legal Council, the body tasked with regulating the legal profession in the Gambia, and is a member of the Disciplinary Committee and is chair of the Enrollment Committee of the GLC. Outside of the judiciary, Justice Saho Sise was the overseer of the Gambia Law School from 2017 to 2018, where she also lectured in advocacy skills. Justice Amina Saho Sise obtained her law degree from the University of Wolverhampton in England and went on to be a student of the Bar Professionals course at the Council of Legal Education at the Sierra Leone Law School. She was said to have always ranked among the top students of the bar and came out as one of the best students at the bar exams in 2004. Additionally, she collected a number of top prizes on call night that were given for outstanding performance. As a judge of the Court of Appeal, Her Ladyship and fellow justices of appeal will hear and determine appeals from judgments, decrees, and orders of the High Court and any order appellate jurisdiction as conferred by an Act of the National Assembly. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Bosonko. Congratulations to her. Now, the mayor of Banjul on Thursday presided over the launching of the EU-funded CityLink Oyston Banjul Sahel Set project. As part of the project, which aims to curtail waste management challenges in the capital city, BCC also presented 2 brand new waste collection trucks and 5,700 trash bins. And Sumana Isonyasi has the rest of that.
Hailed as the biggest waste management project in the history of the BCC, the Sahel Set project is believed to be the answer to the Council's waste management challenges. Underscoring the importance of the project, Mustafa Bachili, CEO of Banjul City Council, expressed his profound gratitude to the EU for funding the project and the mayor for her selfless service to the people of Banjul.
We have now shown our commitment towards heavily alleviating this situation. But we will not be able to do it alone, if you think of it. We will need the active support of the community.
Mayor Rohimalik Low and joined the people of Banjul to maintain and promote unity. She also urged them to support the Sahel-SET project in order to help the BCC realize its development objectives, and went on to reiterate her commitment to transforming the capital city into a modern, clean and environment-friendly city that will be the envy of cities in the sub-region. Representing the EU country representative, Luca Palazzotto, gave an assurance of the EU's commitment to continue supporting the BCC and called on Banjulians to help maintain the project.
Banjul is a vulnerable city to the environmental crisis, and we all need to play our part to address it. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, today I launch the Sahel-SET initiative aimed at ensuring that we give a new approach to waste management in Banjul.
One of the main principles of the waste management is based on 4 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle, recover. In a way, I think many countries, and Gambia is one of them, have been proactively trying to reduce the amount of waste, especially the amount of waste imported. I noticed here the disappearance of the plastic bags from supermarkets.
Banjul Osten Sahel-SET project coordinators Mamla Jasse and Jonah Serent both registered their delight at being able to finally deliver the project, and went on to encourage the people of Banjul to help BCC in its development drive by taking good care of the bins that are being provided at no cost to the community.
The project was established in 5 key components: efficient in public service and good governance for Banjul City Council, a more effective and environmentally friendly city waste management, and a greener, resilient and eco-friendly city.
This way we create value, and we also create a different system, a system in which the streets of Banjul will automatically become cleaner and greener, which is what I believe and hope all Banjulians will be happy with.
Having launched the project, Council will soon start the distribution of these 5,700 trash bins, complete set gears for waste collectors, and the trucks are expected to start operations in the coming days. Thursday's event was characterized by performances from various traditional groups and the official project song composed by the legendary duo by Gay and Fire and Mad Snake, amongst other artists from Banjul. Answane Sonyasi for QTV News.
Reuse, reduce and recycle. We will now take a commercial break. Still to come, we have more local and international news stories to do. Stay tuned.
TAF Africa Global is the first and biggest private estate developer in the Gambia and present in 7 other African countries. We take pride in leading innovation in all spheres of real estate sector in the Gambia and beyond. As such, we are launching the development of the first smart and modern office and retail towers in the Gambia called TAF Twins. The TAF Twins is located in the heart of the Kanifing institutional area and 10 minutes drive away from Banjul. TAF Twins is designed to have 5 floors of office spaces ranging from 50 square meters to over 1,000 square meters, with 2 elevators, central air conditioning, 24 hours electricity and water supply, with the ground floor reserved for banking, supermarket, restaurant and coffee shop. For your bookings and reservations, please call now on 376-2333 or 776-2333. Thank you.
If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News. Now, the National Coordinating Organization for Farmer Associations, the Gambia, has launched the National Alliance of Agroecology Project to share information, develop integrated plans, and coordinate mechanisms for agroecology activities at both regional and national levels. Ajibintu Drame has the rest of that.
Agroecology, the application of ecological principles to agricultural systems and practices, plays an important role that seeks to cultivate a healthy relationship between people and food in rebalancing traditional and modern food habits. It does this in a harmonious way that promotes healthy food production and consumption through ecological concepts and principles. Climate change is a global phenomenon, and over the years the Gambia has lost various animal species and its glorious thick forests. At the launch, Dr. Malanding Jaite, a representative of Ecosystem-Based Adaptation Project, explains the significance of the Agroecology Project.
Many old people above 60 would tell you, oh, we used to have a lot of water, a lot of rain, sometimes 6 months of rain. All of that has changed for the worse. Some of the animals, some of the species in general, that were adapted and suited to those conditions cannot really survive. So they either migrate, and those that cannot migrate die off.
Dr. Jaite further advises how farmers can maintain good practice in protecting the ecological system and restoring its glory.
Yes, you want to have machines to go from end to end, but our environment does not allow that, without damage. So you need to do our best. We are trying to produce more leaves from some species that most people don't look at, and that is jambakata. Most people drink jambakata, traditional, but it has not been packaged in any modern way. It has not been processed in any modern way for us to be able to go and buy a jambakata tea in a supermarket.
Fatunjai Samba, the representative of Nakofak Women's College, says the project is a laudable gesture which could help women as the majority agricultural producers in the country to promote food production and food security in a cost-effective way.
It will encourage us from using organic fertilizer, which is costly. It will help us to use low input, that is organic manure, which is not costly. You just go and collect it and then use it. And also the use of good seeds, which will help us boost production.
Hopeful in the success of the project, Fatunjai Samba believes it will also help tackle the issue of climate change in the country.
Addressing climate change, we are thinking of using early maturing varieties. We are also thinking of early planting and also using areas that are not slopey. But if we have early maturing varieties, we have good planting materials, either cots or whatever. Let's start early.
Mustafa Sise, the FAO representative, also had this to say.
It requires concerted efforts, collective bargaining, and adaptive capacity development of people, the actors on the ground, the stakeholders.
The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change report reaffirms that climate change and variability will affect food and fiber production around the world due to the effects on plant growth and yield by elevated CO2 emissions. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
3 NGOs on Wednesday jointly launched a 3-year EU-funded project on civil society organizations as actors of governance and development to tackle climate change and promote environmental sustainability. Abibatu Sise has the rest of that.
The 3 NGOs are Action Aid International, the Gambia, Action Against Hunger, and Bolo Association. The 3-year €13 million project, funded by the European Union, seeks to strengthen good governance and accountability, social cohesion, and a transformed economy for the well-being of Gambians. It will also support the implementation of policies relating to the sustainable management of natural resources and ecosystems, among other things. At the launch, Lamin Diba, the Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, and Corrado Pampaloni, the EU Ambassador to the Gambia, underscored the importance of CSOs, saying they are key partners in national development.
This project, we want to ensure that is different from other projects that are initiated in this country. Because at the end of the project, we would want to see, even if the funds are dried up, but we would want to see the capacities built in our communities to ensure that we achieve climate resilience. We ensure that the work that they started continues.
In the recent years, the government has increasingly sought partnership with civil society to mobilize additional resources, provide crucial services to the poor, and reach the SDGs for the country, particularly at local and community level.
The Executive Director of Action Aid International, the Gambia, Omar Baji, explains how Action Aid will implement the project in Central River and North Bank regions under the title Empowering Civil Society Organizations to Mobilize Citizens' Actions Towards Green Economy and environment sustainability.
Is to enhance resilience of communities to climate change and attain food security, climate justice, and comprehensive disaster prevention through the agency of people living in poverty.
Action Against Hunger and Bolo Association also explains priority areas to be targeted by the organizations for the implementation of the projects.
The projects operate in 3 districts in North Bank region: Lower Badibu, Central Badibu, and Upper Badibu. We targeted these districts for 4 reasons. First, these districts are spots where the frequent incidents of climate-related hazards manifest climate change effects. The farmers, and especially women and youth population, are highly vulnerable to these hazards.
Currently, CRR North, we have 14 girls. And then we have young women, actually 30, that are almost about to finish to be going back to their communities. So the communities select their people and send them to a project where you will see innovation. I will see girls that are trained in high technology.
CSOs play an important role in building community awareness and capacity building training on climate change and climate resilience. This project will target communities, youths, and women to enhance innovation to mitigate the effects of climate change. For QTV News, I am Abibatu Sise.
The Association All Walks of Life Gambia chapter over the weekend organized a grand family fun jamboree at the Golden Beach Hotel to commemorate Sierra Leone's 60th independence anniversary.
The event was organized by members of All Walks of Life Association Awol Gambia chapter, formed by Sierra Leoneans residing in the Gambia in 2002. To foster unity, promote cultural diversity, and encourage tolerance among Sierra Leoneans living in the Gambia. At the event, Mohamed Legale Cole, the vice chairman of the Awol Gambia chapter, explains the motive for the event.
This time around, almost 2 years, we cancelled all activity because of the pandemic, and it is only now we decide that we must do something because the pandemic is coming down a little bit. So this year we decided to come in another form. Another form in the sense, we decided to make an outing whereby we bring all-inclusive. The all-inclusive in our outing, we are going to have the street procession that we usually have. We have to have it indoors this time. And we organize so many programs for even kids and elders.
Margaret McCarthy, a parent who attended the event with her child, shares her delight.
I just want to thank Awol for what they have done today, because like me, my children, most of the time they are indoors, and today I brought them here and they are so happy to be here today because there is a lot of activities here today, and really the children, they really enjoy everything.
Matthew Mansare, a parent and an attendee, thanked the organizers for coming up with such an important event, which he says will benefit both parents and their children.
I'm here with my son. We're here to celebrate the 60th anniversary of our beloved country, Sierra Leone. And then it's good we actually try to bring up our kids with our cultures and traditions and see exactly so that when they grow old, they will be able to come up with something that will benefit our nation. So that's why I'm here. I'm here with my son, at least so that he can see and partake of our customs and traditions.
Part of the development agenda of the All Walks of Life Association Awol Gambia chapter is to provide scholarships to those in need, pay residential permits for the underprivileged, and help to facilitate other ECOWAS documentation for their fellow citizens, among other services. For QTV News, Lamin Alai Fandindao.
Now let's take a look at stories beyond our borders. The president of the ECOWAS Commission, Jean-Claude Cassibrou, on Wednesday expressed concern with the rising public debt in member states as he presented the 2021 interim report on the state of ECOWAS community. Aliou Cisse reports.
The President's report to the ECOWAS Parliament here in Abuja focused on the issue of the COVID-19, which has caused so much havoc on the sub-region, and also the issue of insecurity, which is affecting the sub-region. As he rightly mentioned, we have seen the increase in terrorist attacks across the sub-region from Burkina Faso, Mali, and even northern Nigeria. But not only that, even the impact of the COVID-19 on the economy and how the sub-region intends to recover from these damages by the COVID-19. The ECOWAS Commission's report focuses on the current state of the affairs of the sub-region, with great emphasis on the impact of COVID-19 and security threats within West Africa. Jean-Claude Cassibro, President of the ECOWAS Commission, in his presentation outlines the COVID-19 pandemic and security threats posed by terrorist activities as two major elements of concern currently affecting the sub-region. Despite the advent of COVID-19 vaccines, he said there is hesitancy among the population to get vaccinated. However, there are efforts to acquire more vaccines to cover 40% of the population. He went further to reveal that efforts are on to produce local vaccines through the West African Health Organization. Despite the serious havoc caused in 2020, with the sharp reduction in production as a result of the prevailing deadly pandemic, it is hoped that the world will recover in 2021 with a projected growth of 6%, according to the International Monetary Fund.
So, right now, what we can say is that there is some positive news, and that's why we need to remain positive about growth prospect.
According to Bro, inflation still remains a challenge due to the fact that with the impact of COVID-19, there has been a reduction in the supply of many of the commodities, which in turn increases the prices of imported goods.
One thing that we need to be concerned is the public debt. We see gradually public debt rising, slowly but rising year after year. After the major drop that we saw a few years ago with the HIPIC initiative, it is growing. And of course, COVID has not really helped. It has increased by almost 10 percentage points. So we need to be very mindful about the debt issue, because we don't want to get, as we were in a few years ago, in a debt trap.
The ECOWAS Commission President observed that terrorist activities have increased and has affected countries such as Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, and northern Nigeria. He expressed worries that this is gradually extending to coastal countries. He informed the Parliament that there had been so far 714 attacks with more than 2,000 fatalities in the year. He pointed out maritime security as another biggest challenge for ECOWAS, citing the Gulf of Guinea as one of the most unsafe in the world. Members commended the President for what they described as a true reflection of the state of affairs of the community. The report was finally adopted. Reporting for QTV News from the ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja, I am Aliou Cisse.
From that story by Aliou Cisse, well, that is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Do join us at 10 for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.